Good evening, Walkaway Canada. Hi, my name is Stephen. This is the first time that I'll be posting within this group. I'm going to talk a little bit about who I am and what brought me to this point of joining the Walkaway. Excuse me. I feel that my message needs to be heard, and the reason I do so is because I believe that the majority of us have been lied to. We have been lied to believe that the one side looks out for us more than the other. And that's something that I fell for many, many years of my adult life. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a Métis Canadian, which means I'm half Native and half European. And that half European is Ukrainian. I am also gay. So that right there is what made me liberal. I believe that the liberals were going to save me, that they were going to ensure that my rights as a gay male were taken care of and as an interracial male. I fell for over-identifying myself based on my race and my sexuality, and lost truth and lost what it really meant to be a Canadian. So now I identify myself as simply, first, last and foremost, a Canadian. I am not a Métis Canadian. I am not a gay Canadian. I am a Canadian. And that's the things that we need to be willing, that's the one thing that I feel we need to get back to, is having some national pride, just simply being proud to be a Canadian, because to me that's enough. We have been lied to for so many years, and it's just assumed that if you are interracial and that you are gay, you are liberal, and I was one of them. I was a far-lefted individual who were protesting against any conservative movement, motion, anything. Then I realized that I was lied to, as were many of us. What woke me up, honestly, was the American election. At the beginning of it, I was a Trump hater, and I was a Trudeau supporter. I voted for Trudeau, unfortunately. But the more and more that I watched Trump and really watched him and did my own research, the more and more I realized that Trump was not a racist, a bigot, homophobic, or transphobic. He was just simply an American who was sick and tired of Americans being kicked around. He was tired of seeing his people, the American people, being swallowed up by corruption. And that's what we are going through right now here in Canada. We are over-identifying ourselves with things that, in the big scheme of things, do not matter. Because being Canadian is at stake here. The attack on our oil industry. The UN pact. And you know what? You'll learn that conservatives aren't anti-immigration. We are anti-illegal immigration. That we are a land of laws, and those laws must be followed. And if I, as a Canadian-born citizen, sorry, my nose is itchy, and I'm expected to follow those laws, then anyone entering our borders or attempting to come into this country need to do it legally. I myself have been labeled a racist homophobe, which is kind of funny because, as I've explained to you earlier on in the video, I'm interracial, I'm a Métis, and I'm also gay. So I want that to really sink into you. When they can label me a racist homophobe, then realistically, no one is off limits. The labels, when someone disagrees with somebody, is another reason that I started opening my eyes, watching comments that people would comment on someone who's got more of a conservative viewpoint. The type of comments that they would leave, the insults, the put-downs, the threats, and the same type of racist remarks that they're coming down on conservatives, supposedly for being. I've seen more racist comments being posted by left-minded liberals than I do by conservatives. And I am now proud to announce that I am a conservative, and that I will make sure and ensure that our values as Canadians are taken care of across the board. My rights as an interracial gay man do not trump anyone else's rights. When my rights as an individual start hindering the rights of my fellow Canadians, that's when it's becoming a problem. And what's happening is we're silencing people, and that is not right. We live in a land that is supposed to be free, where we pride ourselves in freedom of speech. So if someone just simply disagrees with something, they're entitled to do so without worrying about ridicule, put-downs, insults, threats, and yes, labeling. This is my Canada as it is yours. And it is not only my obligation, but my honor to take a stand for my nation and for all that call it home, and that all who will respect the values that is Canada. I came across the walkaway movement because of a few friends. And I honestly feel like I was identifying as a liberal, even though I still had part of me that didn't completely believe in the liberal system in a way, because I've always questioned things, but I simply used to go with the grain. I used to follow the pact. I used to pride myself on thinking I was a leader when I was a follower. But now I am a lion, and you will hear me roar. I will no longer stay silent, and I want no one else to feel they must be silenced because they will be labeled. And if someone does label you, let them. I have learned to just accept that not everyone is going to agree with what I have to say. And I'm okay with respectful debate. But you can't expect anyone to listen to you or your argument when you start insulting and putting them down. We are naturally defensive beings. So as soon as someone starts putting us down, insulting us, our walls of defense go up. Then there's no way the person you're talking to is even going to listen to you. We tend to lean too much on our emotions and less with logic. And that's one thing that kept me lost for so long, is because I over-identified with my sexuality and my race. I felt like anytime I would see a story or an article on mainstream media or in the papers, and they would make sure that they pointed out that the person was gay or interracial or First Nations or whatever, that it angered me. They preyed on our emotions. And I realize that now. They preyed on us. And they preyed on our vulnerabilities. Well, I will no longer let them do that. I am going to awaken more Canadians as time goes by. This isn't the end of me, and nor is my voice ever going to be silenced. The same people, another reason I was pushed away from conservatives was because I was told that they would not accept me. I was made to believe that they were homophobic, racist, and bigoted. And I've done a few videos in other groups, as you will, full of people from all walks of life. I have a video out there that's garnered over 20,000 views, mainly of which was viewed by conservative-minded people or conservatives. And you know what? Not one comment about my homosexuality and not one comment about my race. All the comments there were encouraging, uplifting, and inspiring. These were the same type of people that I was taught to fear, that I was taught would never accept me. And if I was able to, I would show you the many the dozens upon dozens of inboxes from conservative Canadians that reached out to me for thanking me for speaking up, thanking my bravery, telling me that they accept me for who I am, which is Stephen. Being Stephen is enough. Being Canadian is enough. And another thing the liberal-minded people push, or the liberal governments push, is this victim mentality, that we are all victims, that I'm a victim because I'm gay, because I'm a victim because I'm Métis, or that I have First Nation ancestry. But I'm not a victim. I'm not. And neither are any of you. You can choose to be a warrior, or you can choose to be a victim. You can choose to be a leader, or you can choose to be a victim. Well, I don't want to be a victim. I am not a victim. And I won't let any government institution make me feel that I must be a victim simply because of my sexuality or my race, religion, or gender. We've gotten so lost in things that, in the big scheme of things, do not matter. Our nation is crumbling. Our economy has come to a halt. We must rise up, Canada. Come together and realize that we were told a big, fat lie about conservatives and about how we should feel about conservatives or people with conservative values or morals or whatever. And realize that it's time to put the control back in the hands of the people, us Canadians, and hold our institutions, the people governing us, that they work for us and not the other way around. I love my Canada, and I will never stop standing on guard for thee. Most of my videos, I end it by singing the national anthem, and I hope you're okay with that. And I sing it the way I was taught, not the reworded one, but the one I was taught. So here I go. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patron love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see they who rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Have a good night, Canada. It is time to walk away.